I'm JDittmer. I'm 26 years old and I live in Brock, Texas. So this September I'm going to be competing against some world-class competitors in the Fort Worth Mustang Show. It's going to be the 7th through the 9th, so if you get a free moment to come out, come check us out. You'll really enjoy it. It's going to be a great competition. These competitions are to show people that, hey, you know, these horses are just like any other horse and they deserve a chance. They're wild horses they get rounded up, the government rounds them up, and they keep them in holding facilities throughout the United States. There's some good Mustangs out there. There's some good horses. They can be used for pretty much anything. The reason I'm doing this competition is I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do it and that I could do it on my own. And I want to, you know, prove to my dad that I can do it without his help a little bit. The way I got into working with these horses and messing with Mustangs is when I was a kid. It kind of drew our family together. When I was real young, my parents got divorced and we kind of had a separated family, and I always looked up to my dad as a kid, and he was a big role model in my life, and I thought it was cool that he trained horses and, you know, he worked on some big ranches, and so he kind of was my hero. So I kind of wanted to be just like him when I was a kid. And he started doing these Mustang makeovers, I think I was about 10 years old. I thought that was the coolest shit ever. Get a wild horse, break it in 100 days, and then go compete on it and show the world what you can do with the time that you had. So that's kind of what motivated me. And then when I was 13, I did my first one. I got a twin brother. We both competed against each other, and our dad helped us. But it wasn't really about the horses. It was more about, you know, bringing us together as a family, and it was nice to get that experience. So everybody knew me from the Mustang Million, and there was a TV show that they aired with that. It was called Mustang Millionaire. And so everybody in the Mustang world knows who I am, so that it kind of is a little intimidating, because from a kid I was well known and a lot of people look up to me, and then for a short period of time I kind of stepped away from it and nobody really knew what I was up to, but now I'm jumping back in full throttle and just gonna run away with it and see what happens and see where it takes me. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. When I told my dad that I was going to be competing in this Mustang show and that I was going to get a horse for it, at first he was not really excited about it. He wasn't real pumped for me. He's kind of like, well, you know, he's like, you think, you know, he's like, you're going to need some help. He's like, you can't do it by yourself. It wasn't even real confident about it. It was kind of, I don't know, kind of discouraging a little bit, but I was just like, well, I'm doing it, and then he's like, well, like, okay, and he wasn't real enthusiastic about it, but then about a week went by, and then he got really excited, and then he called me, and then he told me that if there's anything I can do to help you, like, I'll help you through it, and you know, if you need any advice, you know, just give me a call. And it was kind of funny. He got real excited about it, and throughout the whole deal, like, he's given me some advice, which I've took some of it, and some of it I have not. I think it's been kind of cool because in the past, as a kid, I always did have my dad to help me, and he was always there. So it's different now because I'm doing it more on my own. I mean, I'm still getting help from from my friends, but it's more, if I mess up, it's on me, and it falls back on me. Or if I succeed, it's on me. A certain time requirement to qualify for this competition. You had 2 months. It was April and May. You had an opportunity to adopt a wild Mustang and to be eligible for this competition. And I adopted another horse before I got Blevins, and I thought I was eligible. And then last minute I realized I had a week left. It was the last week of May, and I realized that I was not eligible for this competition. So I was kind of scrambling around, kind of trying to look for a horse and trying to find an auction. Well, I picked my horse up out of May, Texas at Craig Moore's place. He's a tip trainer. He's part of the storefront program. He's a real good guy. Him and his wife, they have a real good little outfit going out there. And but that's where I got my horse. He hooked me up. I wanted a gelding. I wasn't looking for a mare. He only had 2 geldings eligible, so I just picked what I thought would be the best for this competition. He's from Adobe-town, Wyoming, and yeah, it seems like a pretty good horse. I've never got a horse out of Wyoming before, so this is my first Wyoming Mustang, but I'll probably pick another one. The first day I picked him up, I had a friend with me from California. Actually, I didn't know the guy very well myself, but he's never been around horses, and we picked this horse up. I came over to my buddies, Byron Hogan, and the first day I was like, man, I'm gonna get on this horse, I'm gonna ride him. I'm behind the 8 ball because I got him the last week, you know, like it was crunch time, and I was like, I'm 2 months behind and I gotta get going. And yeah, I saddled him up. He took off bucking. He bucked around there a little bit. Then he was all right, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna get on him, and then I kind of got to thinking, my brain started working, and I realized it probably was not a good idea to get on them the first day. And knowing from what I know in my past experience, I've never got on a Mustang the first day either, so I was excited, but I felt a little, you know, like I was behind the 8 ball. But I ended up not getting on him, did some groundwork, and then 3 days later I got on him. And he bucked. He bucked, but I rode him out, and after that he was fine, and he hasn't bucked since. So yeah, I've had some pretty big setbacks during this time training this horse. I mean, like, pretty bad. I got in a wreck. It was on another horse. It was a yellow quarter horse. I was at a sale barn, and some things went sideways, and pretty serious wreck, and broke my collarbone. When that happened, my whole world stopped. The first thing that came to my mind is, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna ride my horse? How am I gonna be able to compete? In that moment, I thought that I'm gonna have to pull out of this, because the doctor told me I wasn't supposed to ride for 6 weeks, and I wasn't real happy about that. But I got a really, really good buddy. He's a trainer. His name is Byron Hogan, and he helped me out a lot. He picked up the slack for me when I couldn't when I couldn't work with my horse. He really helped me out, and I'm really grateful for that. So I have a support system of some really good friends, some really good sponsors, and if it wasn't for that, then none of this would be possible at all. So I'm very grateful to have all that. Some trainers, when they start their horses, they're the only ones that, you know, ride them for the first, I don't know, 60 days, 90 days. But for me, I don't know, I'm not like that. My thought on that is, well, you know, this horse is going to be up for adoption. If I'm the only person that rides this horse for 90 days, 100 days, and nobody else has ever got on him or messed with him, what is he going to do when when the owner gets on him, or when somebody buys him and they do something different? And then especially when I got injured and broke my collarbone, it does not hurt my pride. It does not make me feel less of a person to send my horse out. Some of the wins from all this during this process, it's helped me. I've gotten a lot more confident in myself. I wasn't real confident before I started training this horse. I was kind of timid, but this horse has given me confidence. I've gone to a few little competitions, and people have come up to me and have said, man, like, you got that horse. How long have you had that horse? How long have you been riding that horse? And I'd tell them, and they're just like, man, you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing. So it's been nice. I did start riding my horse with my sling when I still was wearing my sling, just lightly, but people were like, man, you're crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I am a little crazy, but I knew that he wouldn't hurt me, and I took that risk. But it's been nice, just the compliments I've gotten from people on, you know, how he's been doing and the training process. And so hopefully we can win it big in Fort Worth and have the title of the champion of the Fort Worth Mustang Show. That's the goal. Well, I think that if you come and you buy a ticket, even if you don't adopt a horse, it's a very great experience. If you have kids or bring your family, you'll have a great time. You'll be around good people. And if you do get inspired to adopt one of these horses that are competing, you'll have not only a good horse, but you'll have a legendary Mustang. These horses are great, and if you're really looking for a great horse, a really good horse, I mean, Levin's your man. You know, if you got some calves to go doctor, some cows to work, you know, he'd be perfect for that. If you're looking to get into doing some shot stuff or maybe some reining cow horse stuff, if you're getting into it and you need a horse, he can do that too. Or even if you just want to go out and ride down the trail or go trail ride and, you know, drink a beer while you're riding. You can do that on him too. He's beer broke. That was a must. He's a good horse, and he's going to make somebody a really good horse, and I'm excited to see where he goes and what opportunities somebody's going to be able to do with him. And dude, I mean, you might even win some money on him, so win some more earnings on him after we compete. The best thing I've learned from working with these horses, or what it's taught me, is it's helped me to deal with people a little bit, but it's also taught me a lot of patience. Because when you get them from when they're wild, and everybody asks me, how can you get this horse wild, and in 3 months you're doing all the stuff that you do in a year. When somebody, you know, when a trainer has a year to work on a horse for a show, in this show you only have 3 months. So, I mean, there's a lot of long days and a lot of, you know, riding them more than once or riding them for half a day. put a lot of time into it, but I don't know, these horses have taught me how to be, have taught me patience, and have taught me things about myself. It's made me reflect on myself and what I need to work on sometimes, just in interactions with people, and just how to be a better person myself. So everybody asks me what I'm doing for my finals. Do you think you're going to make the finals? My horse has the ability to win the competition, I believe, but I have to bring just as much as him. I think we got a really good chance of making the finals, and so I'm not really thinking about it too much. I'm just trying to think about my finals act. The last show that I did a real big, elaborate finals act themed on the TV show Duck Dynasty, and I made a John boat and had a camouflage Cadillac and had my horse pick up a duck decoy, so everybody remembers me from that. So this year when I jump back into it, it's like, man, for my finals I got to go above and beyond and top what I did, you know, many years ago. At the end of the competition, you got to sell your horse in an auction. And it's hard because you do spend a lot of time and you bond with this horse, and you know, you kind of get attached. It's going to be hard to sell him. See, I've kind of kicked around the idea I might buy him back. It kind of just depends on how it goes. If somebody came up to me and told me that they wanted to do this, I'd tell them, do it. You won't regret it. You'll learn a lot, it'll teach you a lot. At some point you're going to fail. But learn from your failure and you can succeed. So this September I'm going to be competing against some world-class competitors in the Fort Worth Mustang Show. It's going to be the 7th through the 9th. So come check us out. You'll really enjoy it. It's going to be a great competition. I'm JDittmer, and me and Blevins want to thank all of our sponsors: Hogan Equine, Hungry Jalapeno of Brock, Texas, JP Wellness, and Emily James Media.